Hello there. This is Tony. Today's date is December 3rd, 2010. This is Social Commentary, episode number 3, and I'm coming to you from the great state of Nevada. The last time I spoke to you, I was over in Texas, and we were talking about the unemployment insurance compensation problem at that time when the Senate was deciding whether to continue it. Fortunately, they did. And now here we are again in December, and we find that the Senate is once again debating the same question as to whether or not to continue to send out the much needed money to the American people, especially as we get into the holiday season. I liken the Senate to Scrooge and the American people to Bob Cratchit. And I truly hope that the Senate makes the right decision and will continue to make those checks available to so many of the deserving American people that need them. But our subject today is about illegal immigration. I like to title this the U.S. against the South. And I'm not talking about Dixie. I'm talking about Mexico or south of the border. America, you're asleep. And I hate to tell you that, but you really are. You're asleep and you're apathetic as all get out. You really don't care. And you have to wake up. You have to wake up and you have to look at the situation that's going on around you. You know, before I put this all together, I decided to think about what exactly is an American. I mean, I'm an American. Chances are, if you're listening to this, you're an American. But what makes us an American? Well, we were probably born here. I was. But my heritage is from Germany and Italy. And perhaps your heritage is from Ireland or Scotland or Britain, or for that matter, from anywhere else in the country. Or the world, I should say. The big difference is our forefathers and moms came here legally. They came into this country and wanted to assimilate. They wanted to be Americans. I know my great-grandfather did when he came on to America. And perhaps maybe yours did as well. But the Mexicans that are coming across the border today, that are stealing their way across the border today, have no intentions of assimilation. They don't want to be Americans. As a matter of fact, they want to take this country over. I've seen banners recently that have been out and about saying that this was our country. This country belonged to us, meaning the Mexicans saying that they owned California, they owned Nevada, they owned areas like Arizona and New Mexico. Well, you know you did, but you lost it in the war. That was back in 1846, and you lost. We own it now. It's our country. Get over it, okay? It's done. You have no claim on it anymore. I've seen banners and signs saying that, oh, we're part American Indians. Well, maybe you are, but you're not anymore. The American Indians are the American Indians who have the total claim to this country, if you really want to get facts straight. You're illegals. You come here illegally. And you want to have all of the benefits that an American has. Well, you're not Americans. If you want those benefits, assimilate with us. Be part of us. Learn how to speak our language. Learn our ways. Learn our customs. My great-grandparents and grandparents put their customs aside to become Americans. I had a lot of things I wanted to say in regards to this, but the biggest thing I want to point out is that we cannot be apathetic anymore. You have to wake up, America. You have to do something about it. It is your responsibility. Or do you want to quietly be overrun by a virus, which is basically what's happening? Crime has gone up tremendously, and we have organizations like ICE that do their very best to keep the Mexican criminals out and send them back, but they come back. But we have people like Jan Brewer. A lot of folks don't like her. A lot of Mexicans don't like her. But you know what? I don't blame them for not liking her because she's trying to secure our border. She is doing her very best in her state of Arizona to keep that border closed, to keep it secure. And I commend her for what she's doing. It's really too bad that people in California can't do the same, or Texas can't do the same. But we need to. We need to secure our borders. We need to control who comes into this country. Ray Stevens has got a number of songs out on the internet right now all about this very subject. And of course, some of them are laughable and funny, and Ray Stevens has always been regarded as a humorous comedian in his music. But he's got a good story to tell. You should check them out. And he brought out a good point that in other countries, that if you tried to sneak in illegally, what would happen to you? He mentioned China. If you tried to sneak in there, you'd be condemned as a spy and killed. If you tried to sneak in as an illegal into Iraq, you'd be beheaded and killed. If you tried to sneak into Mexico, you would be put before a firing squad and killed. The bottom line is that you would be killed. Yet we here in America open our arms and say, come on in, and you don't have to conform. You don't got to be like the rest of us who have. You can go off and do your own little thing. I ask any one of you, if you moved to another country, would they accept you just the way they are? Would France say, oh, no problem, mon ami, you can speak English and I'll adjust to you? Hell no, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that anywhere else in any other country. Even in Mexico. If you went down to the heart of Mexico and you spoke English, and of course, if they didn't know it, would they accommodate you? No. It's their country. Why do we accommodate it? I've actually seen Mexican flags flown above American flags in some businesses because we cater, because we accommodate. I think we should stop accommodating. I think we should stop catering. Walk into any fast food restaurant, with the exception of In-N-Out Burger, who will not tolerate Spanish being spoken in their kitchen. And you will find the entire operation being run by Mexicans. You will find that they will only hire Mexicans. Very seldom do you see a white man or a black man or a woman working behind the counter. I think that's a shame. When that was the realm of the pimply-faced teenager back in the 60s and 70s. I know, I came from that era. I'm aware of how this country has changed. I'm aware of how apathetic we've gotten. I'm aware of how our money leaves the country. I was in Walmart the other day and watched a non-English speaking Mexican woman pluck down $3,000 on the counter and promptly ship it out to Mexico, where it will never do us any good at all. What is it going to take, America? What is it going to take for you to wake up? What is it going to take for you to open your mouth and say, I don't want to tolerate this anymore? There are ways you can do things about it. Number one is to be bold. I know it's difficult to be bold sometimes. I have no problem, though, commenting to people, why do you speak Spanish? Are you living in my country? Or are we in Spain or Mexico? I've asked them that. And you want to know something? I get a stupid smile most of the time. We need to do something about it. And you can start by filling out comment cards in restaurants saying you don't want to tolerate it anymore. You can make phone calls when people ask, how are we doing? Tell them how we're doing. And if enough of us say what's on our mind, maybe we can bring some change back to this one great country. This country was built on the blood of our men and women who shed it, so we could enjoy freedom. I don't know of any Mexican, unless they're American citizens, that have fought for this country. I'm going to be called a racist. I'm not a racist. I believe everybody has a chance to get ahead, but do it properly. Our forefathers did. And us Americans, by birth, it is our right to be here. It is our right, I say again, to be here. And it is not an illegal's right to be here. We need to stop this. My name's Tony. This is Social Commentary for December 3rd. I do wish you happy holidays, and we'll speak again.